Welcome to Moravian Yankee, an ongoing documentary series about rebuilding a life in the Czech Republic after 60.
Today is the day! Today, Miriam is going inside this building. We are not. We are legally not allowed to be, which, for a documentary series, is a little on the nose.
So I'm just going to go in and get a card and come back out. That's it. That's the whole plot for today, and it's starting to rain really hard. Wish me luck. Actually, don't. I already know how this ends. I'm just being polite, but you never know until the end.
While Miriam and Ellie are inside a building we cannot show you, let's talk about how she got here. 937 days. 30 months and 25 days. She retired early at 59,
Woohoo!
Sold everything, well, mostly everything. Bought a one-way ticket to the Czech Republic, left everything she ever knew behind to start her life over from scratch at 62. In a former communist country that had ironically turned more democratic than her own lately. Not many people would do that at that age. People told her, "What if it doesn't work out?" or "You'll be back." And even the old, "Are you crazy?" But Miriam has always taken risks, although calculated risks.
Well, I did once volunteer to go on a refueling mission of a C-141 and a KC-135. I sat right behind the pilot's seat in the cockpit, and that was pretty risky.
And today, after that fateful day, she is picking up her permanent residency card. Permanent residency. Like, for life. And as Edith Piaf would say, she has no regrets.
If you're considering doing this, this is what you'll need. For temporary residency, application form, passport, marriage certificate, apostilled, the original, proof of accommodation, your home deed or lease, private EU medical insurance, 2 passport-type photographs, and a 2,000 quorum fee. Foreign police visit, check for fraud at any time unannounced. For permanent residency, for married, 2 years of temporary residency. Everyone else is 5 years temporary residency before they can apply for permanent residency. Application form, passport, marriage certificate, apostilled, original, medical insurance, still under your temporary residency, 2 photographs, 125 or 150 quorums fee, I believe it was, may or may not have a foreign police visit. We only had the foreign police visit the first time with my temporary residency. Unless they came when we weren't there. They do kind of do that sometimes. They snoop around and investigate, and they talk to the neighbors to see if everything is legit.
Being married to a Czech citizen puts an applicant on the faster track. Faster, in this case, meaning 2 months at best, sometimes longer. Sometimes even 6 months or more start to finish. For context, that is less time than it took Miriam to get the clothes she ordered from the US out of customs here, because the company didn't have the IOSSVAT tax number on the forms. And there it is. 2 months, 1 building we're not allowed to show you, and a piece of plastic that outranks almost everything else Miriam owns at the moment.
Behold, I thought I'd feel something enormous. I do, considering the way the world is now. But it kind of feels like I just renewed my library card with much higher stakes. I had to turn in my temporary residency card and get this one. 10 years. Just renewed every 10 years. Permanent. Well, you just have to renew the card. You don't have to keep applying to renew. Just, update picture and all that stuff, kind of like your driver's license. So now I have to go to the health insurance office and get off of the private health insurance that I had for 2 years. and get on the regular health insurance. Even though my private health insurance is still good till 2027. Now I have to apply for a refund to try to get some of that money back. And it's thousands. Every country in the EU is different how they handle their permanent residencies. And then my friends would ask me, what changes now? Well, practically nothing. I mean, I could already live here, I could already work here, but there's a difference between being able to stay now permanently and being able to stay temporarily. Full stop. There's no renewal date circled on the calendar in the immediate future. You know, there's no little countdown running in the back of my head. People argue about this all the time. Expat versus immigrant. Like it's a personality quiz. I've always said that it's much simpler than that. Much simpler than that. You're an expat right up until the time that the country tells you that you can permanently stay. Permanently. And then you're not just visiting anymore. You're just here. I keep thinking about the version of me that, that started this whole process. 60-something, new country, fully convinced that somehow something might go wrong, something could go wrong. But it did not go wrong. It went mostly like paperwork, which is kind of a miracle in itself. And make sure I remember which way I came. So I did it. I got my permanent residency. 2 months, 1 card. And not a whole lot of drama. Maybe I'll sit here. Maybe I won't. Never mind. It looked like maybe something was on that. There wasn't a whole lot of drama, but it was a lot of paperwork, and it was a lot of trying to chase people down to get signatures and blue stamps. I saw the files that they keep on us immigrants. They're huge, like really huge. Done. We did it. We did it. Now our apartment is not going to be just a vacation apartment, which it wasn't supposed to be, but for sure that does it. For sure that makes it a home.
There is, for the record, a proposed change currently moving through Parliament, a moratorium of sorts. The reasoning being that fewer Czech babies are being born, and something, apparently, must be done about that. Under the proposal, foreign spouses would no longer be able to file from inside the country. They would file from home instead, and wait there, and follow up with some kind of tracking system. It has not passed. It may not pass. It would not, in any case, apply to spouses who are EU citizens. Miriam got here before any of that was decided. Some doors close right behind the person who just walked through them.